reference for the fascial web, for example. What is it? Now we know part fiber, part fluid, viscous electrolyte gels flowing with the changes in pressure of our breath and movement. Electromagnetic fields of the sun and the earth, particularly influencing us, and how, for example, the sunlight can charge up the water in our body, building up that exclusion zone that Gerald Pollack talks about, and contributing to the overall available energy in our system. Now, if we for a moment consider that this web of fascia, right, is going to be constructed of the available materials that our body has, coming mostly from our food. So I did want to spend some time talking about the work of William Davis and David Perlmutter, the guys who kind of kicked off. I'm not quite sure how it started, really, the whole idea of cutting out wheat and carbs in favor of a diet higher in fat. I was intrigued by the history of the low fat campaign and the idea that people in the blue zones of longevity tend to be eating diets higher in fat, particular kinds of lards with the shorter chain fatty acids, and the difference between those and the longer poly chains of fatty acids like you find in canola oil and corn oil, that these can be problematic for the cells. And to build the healthiest cells that we can, we need the healthiest fats that we can and the healthiest proteins that we can acquire. With the raw materials in place and the electrical signals from the environment also coming from our movement through that piezoelectric effect, where the mechanical tension is transferred into electrical signals. So the signals from our environment, both produced as a consequence of our movement and that we are exposed to in terms of the sunlight, in place with the proper raw materials in order to remodel our connective tissue towards our greatest benefit. We're considering the gate cycle as kind of our home base for the force vectors that we want to institute, because we know that the fascial web is going to adapt, lay down collagen along the lines of these force vectors. That makes it important for us to carefully choose the force vectors that we expose ourselves to regularly.